See? Oakley dokley, that looks alright to me. Checking the mouse. Okay. And I think everything looks good. Hello, everybody. I am Rip, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. Last we left off, we successfully saved Alphino Tataru from a misleading trial. Discovered that the people in power here are secretly following an Ascian and their own agenda. We saved Raubon from the Crystal Braves with the help of Yugiri. Let's see what else happened. Oh yeah, we've begun the trek to find Lady Icehearts to hopefully settle the matter with the dragons peacefully. And lo and behold, here they are. Our current squad for the foreseeable, and for the not foreseeable future. For a good chunk of the experience. We have our boy Alphino, the Azure Dragoon, and our Ice Queen. So, let's get back into it. You are Valzin, yes? Pray, address me as Izael, if you wish. 'Tis passing strange, is it not? That fate should bring us together thus. Never did I think to walk alongside the Warrior of Light. But history is full of unexpected alliances. Shall we make our way into Dravania, then? The chill of the Western Highlands is unrelenting, and I would sooner be under the sheltering canopy of the Chocobo Forest.
Beyond Abalathia's spine, the great mountain range that spans the continent of Aldenard from east to west. Into the deepening shadows of Som Al, where lies the ancient home of dragonkind. To a land where the soil slithers and the skies seethe with sinuous shapes, they came.
Alright, I guess that happened. Just fell out of the sky. Do you sense them, Valzin? The gathering of dragons to the west. This forest was mentioned in the pages of the New Eorzean Geographic. Paul, the author, advised travelers to give the local chocobos a wide berth. According to her, they can be remarkably aggressive. We now stand on the threshold of Dravania. The path to Som Al will take us far to the west, beyond the embrace of the forest branches. It'll be a long and demanding journey. I suggest that we take our rest at the village up ahead, and see that we are properly provisioned. There's a village here? I thought these lands the sole domain of dragonkind. Why would anyone choose to live in so perilous a place? The wild chocobos. Tailfeather was built by hunters who make their living capturing and selling the beasts. The leader, Mazzachamp, is an acquaintance of mine. Being a gregarious sort, he will no doubt welcome our arrival. And he will also possess more recent knowledge of the road we seek to travel. I trust there are no objections. Only to the ceaseless chatter. If we are to meet this acquaintance of yours, let us do it before Ishgard burns. Have a board. I have no interest in fates, but they do seem to keep popping up. Also, sorry, I yawned there. Well, tan me hide and call me Leatherface. We have visitors. Oh, it ain't the lovely Azale. It's been too long ago. That it has, Master Champ. It has. My companions and I are on a pilgrimage to Som'al. Let me stay in Tailfeather a while and prepare for the long leg of our journey. Of course, Stay as long as you like. In fact, I wouldn't suggest leaving the forest at all. The dragons have been absolutely bleeding murderous of late. Forgive me, sir, but I am not sure I understand. Do the dragons not bother you here in the forest? Bother us? Did Azale not explain things to you, boy? You've seen them towering You've seen them towering Caleb trees all about, haven't you? If you were flying above the canopy, you'd barely be able to see the ground. And as you'd expect, the local wildlife's canny enough to stay hidden beneath the leaves, which is why the dragons do their hunting elsewhere. And we can do ours in peace. See. Thank you for the explanation. Welcome. Now, I know it won't stop Azale here, but dragons ain't the only things you need to keep an eye out for, especially if you're set on heading west. So it's like, you leave them alone, they leave you alone. I dare say you're wondering what could possibly be worse than dragons? Well, I'll tell you, the bloody Nath. They're what you might get if you get... They're what you might get if you cross an antling with a megala crab and taught the thing how to walk on two legs. They never used to stray far from the hives out of fear of dragons. They've gotten a lot more aggressive of late, setting up war parties for moms in all directions. They've even taken to harassing the Dravanians in their own lairs, if you can believe it. When they venture into the forest, which is more and more, by the way, it certainly ain't afraid to come after my lot. I can only imagine how much worse it can be closer to the Nat's home territory. Sorry, I'm yawning again. Now listen, son. If you're set and heading west, you best keep your ears peeled for the angry clicks of Nath mandibles, or you can find yourself staring into a set. I have read widely of the world and its wonders. Yet after taking but a few steps into the unknown, I am reminded how much I have still to discover. These hunters scrabble in the shadow of dragons for naught but the love of coin. It inspires courage and madness in equal measure, it seems. Well, now what? Sorry. Well, now what, Isabel? It would seem much has changed, Travania. The Nath were not wont to cause such strife when I lived here. You lived here? In Travania? Aye. It was in the time following the calamity. My family was dead, my home was gone, and I fled from the bitter cold into these lands. I knew not the paths of the forest then, and wandered out from under the protection of its boughs. That was when I chanced upon Hreisfelger. He had descended from his mountain lair to hunt for food. An exhausted mind could not contend with the sight of the majestic worm, nor the vision of the past his presence visited upon me. Thankfully, Mossachamp found my unconscious form at the edge of the trees and nursed me back to health. But in Tailfeather, I remained for some time. If I could just stop yawning, that'd be great. Hence, familiarity with the locals. But I interrupted you. You were saying these Nath were once a peaceful people. Peaceful would not be the most fitting description. They are a fiercely territorial tribe, and any who intrude upon their domain are attacked without hesitation or quarter. Outside the borders of their homeland, however, they were rarely hostile. Indeed, we were even able to trade with them on occasion. They have changed then. What of it? We have not the time to creep through the underbrush in some roundabout route. I say we make straight for some owl and crush any unruly insect we meet underfoot. A more direct path, then. Very well, let us first follow the trail west out of the forest and make for the statue of the Stained One. From there, we should have a fair view of the road that leads to some owl. Shall we? How dare they not group up properly? Should we chance to meet Martinchamp again? Remind me to thank him. Had he not warned us to expect the Nath, I doubt I would be standing here. It ruins, I would tentatively describe as Ishgadian? The style, if not quite identical, betrays a definite resemblance. You're as tall as I, Master Alphinaud. The structure is in fact over 1,000 years old. It is a remnant of the age when our ancestors and dragonkind lived together in peace. You claim this as evidence of our harmonious past? I was taught that these buildings were constructed by heretics, in honor of your Dravanian masters. This rubble inspires no such awe in me. Stubborn fool, how desperately you cling to these false teachings of your beloved Holy See. Enough, both of you. You threaten the success of our mission with this incessant squabbling. Thousand, pray reason with these two. The truth of the past will be revealed in time. What? Lest you forget, our goal is to prevent a war which will claim the lives of Dravanians and Ishgadians alike. If you are to accomplish this, you must learn to tolerate each other's presence. Trust in Balzan's gift. In time, the secrets of history will be brought to light. Let that be enough, Issinian. You would have me keep my counsel until Balzan's visions confirm the truth. Very well, but bait me not. Our meeting with Hraesvelgr will likely provide the catalyst Balzan's gift requires, as it did mine. Let us press on. These Atmen are bold to bring their war to the dragon's doorstep. Mayhap we should invite them to man the walls of Ishgard. Dragons in the sky and Nath upon the ground. One must need sprout eyes in the back of one's head to survive this land. Spy you the 3 great towers to the west. Ishgardians know them as XIV. The place serves as a roost for Hraesvelgr's lesser kindred. If we are to reach the peak of some all, we must first besiege these dragons to open the way. But do not be disheartened. The one who leads them is a friend. Rather more concern is the disposition of the nav. Let us obey the approach to the towers. See if the path is clear. You see, the enemy of my enemy is also my enemy. The nav are fast becoming a nuisance. They seem to plague our every step. Just as I feared. The road ahead is teeming with Nat soldiers. Also, champ did not exaggerate then. These beastmen have grown brazen indeed if they would threaten the dragon so openly. Do they not intend to assault the lair itself? I pray they do not. Mighty though my Dravanian friends are, they are yet vulnerable to the Nat's muskets. There is no route save the one before us. Should the beastmen offer battle, we have no choice but to accept. Oh. Really? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Burn for your transgressions. A greater dragon approaches. The scale of the structure is nothing short of astounding. But that is only to be expected, I suppose, given the size of its occupants. I take no pleasure in killing the nav. It was to avoid bloodshed that I agreed to join you on this journey. Well, it cannot be helped. We may proceed into the courtyard together, but leave the task of hailing its occupants to me. And keep your lance on your back, Dragoon. On my words, the Warrior of Light, I shall start no fight. Only finish it. You truly are beyond salvation. Come then.
Vidofnir!
Tis thee, little one. From above I did mistake thee for a nath. 'Tis well I chanced to look again, or thou wouldst now be ash.
Dear Vidofnir, how I have missed you. Would that I had come sooner, and not out of dire necessity.
Thou art troubled. Speak that I might know thy plight. Thou wouldst have father admonish his brood brother.
I I would end this war without further bloodshed.
How am I to believe thee, little one, when thine own companion beareth Nidhogg's stolen eye?
Have care, dragon, or I shall gouge out one of yours.
Inian, come on.
You forget yourself, sir. We are here on a mission of peace.
My sires will forbiddeth me from inviting discord to our home. 'Tis for this reason and no other that thou still drawest breath, knight.
Vidofnir, please. We must be allowed to convey our intentions to Hraesvelgar in person, with words of our own choosing. Grant us this favor, and open the way to Som Al.
Thou hast ever been welcome, little one. But I cannot grant thy wish. I am bound to remain here and protect my kin from the Nath's god.
Excuse me?
The Nath have summoned a primal.
Well, here we go again.
Pray excuse my forwardness, but if we were to eliminate the threat to your territory, would you consent to Lady Izel's request?
Ha! Dost thou imagine thyself equal to the task? To succeed where dragons have failed? "'Tis beyond thee, mortal. But thou art welcome to try, nonetheless. Only know that idle promises shall avail thee naught."
It would seem we have no choice but to make good on Alphino's offer. Why must our every bid for peace breed yet more war?
Damn. Damn, this is getting too real. By the Fury, we must now defeat a primal that we might treat with a worm. I do begin to see how you gained your reputation for surmounting the insurmountable. Once more, a primal rears its head, and once more the task of slaying it falls to you. But that I too possess the echo. So, the Nath have summoned their god, and thus, in the mystery of their newfound belligerence, laid to rest. Are you not glad, Lady Iceheart? I thought you would applaud them for summoning a primal to further their own ends. After all, you did. I did not reach out to Saint Shiva to further mine own ends. I desired her strength only to forge anew the peace between man and dragon. But what a fool am I to speak of peace to you, a bloodthirsty savage who murders without thought or compunction. Enough! Enough, I say. If the Nath have truly brought forth their deity from the ether, we must face it together or watch our hopes fall apart. Now, all now rests upon this primal's defeat. But ere we think of confronting it, we must first study its origins. What is the nature of this god? What manner of fate sustains his existence? My apologies. You are right, of course. Let us return to Tailfeather and consult with Masterchef. He knows more of the Nath and their culture than most. Oh, come on. Up. 1, 2, 3, up. Moon. I can't tell if it's full or so close to full. Lovely night here in Dravania. Oh, back already, are we? Ah, met the gnat, did you? And what is it you'd like to... So, what about their faith? Something primal, you say? Well, I don't know bugger all about gnat religion, if I'm honest. Beyond their trading habits, there never seemed much point in asking. But it shouldn't be that hard to find out. From time to time, we barter with a small hive to the north and west of here. Outcasts from the main tribe, from what I understand. I reckon they'd be willing to tell you a bit about themselves. Give them the right incentives. That sounds rather promising. And what exactly would a gnat consider to be the right incentives? Oh, nothing your average first round up in a day or two. But seeing as you're in a hurry, you might want to divide the chores amongst yourselves. You want a good-sized jar of land rat nectar, a basket of calam tree fruits, and, always a gnat's favorite, a generous portion of young Naka flesh. I shall gather the fruits, leaping to the lower branches of these forest giants shall present little challenge to me. Then I shall collect the nectar with Master Alphina's arcane assistance. That leaves you to bring home the meat. You need to carve it from the smaller Nankas that live in the rivers. 3 big hunks should be enough, I reckon. Once you've gotten everything together, you'll need to set it down at what we call the trading post. Here, I'll mark the spot on your map for you. You've been most kind, Master Champ. Well then, let us attend to our respective tasks, and reconvene at the trading post. I need hardly add that the last one there is a rotten Nanka egg. Getting a bit more playful, are we, Alphino? Well, suppose one needs be, at your age. Done. Master Alphina possesses a rare talent for the arcane arts. Should he continue to apply himself to the study, he will become a formidable mage in time. When I set out to master the Dragoon's jump, it was not to strike fear into the hearts of high-hanging fruit. I was able to gather a goodly amount of nectar from the land traps, though I would not have known how to harvest it without Izel's help. Do you have the Nanka meat? Splendid! I shall put this with the Simian's fruit and assemble a suitably generous-looking hamper for the gnat. Oh, it's just gonna be the same thing. The non-mind. Well, everything appears to be in order. Assuming no one has any objections to my choice of presentation, I shall place our offerings at the trading post as instructed. Were I of the gnat, I would think I would be suitably impressed. Well, how long must we wait? Should we have sent a signal or some such? Calm yourself, Master Alphino. Our offering has not gone unnoticed.
Long has it been since hunters last came to trade, bearing gifts that filled the air with such delightful scents. Landtrap nectar, calam tree fruit, and flesh. What goods you have brought for us. Our meager existence much enriched by your bounty. Come, hunters, come to our hive if you would trade. Cramped and stifling our homes are, but the rancid incense keeps the dragons at bay. Cramped, stifling, and horribly smelly. But better to live in stench than be cramped and crunched by dragon jaws. Yes, come. It is not far. I've been waiting a while to use a voice like this.
Strangely friendly, are they not? Or mayhap just strange. These gnats seem harmless enough. Almost jovial, even. I would prefer, however, that we conclude our business with them as soon as possible. Can those truly be gnats? Were it not for their appearance, I would think them wholly unrelated to the savage creatures that attacked us on the road.
Your presence has been announced to the storyteller. You must speak to our chosen leader in words, for we are Vath. We are the non-mind. Welcome to our hive, hunters. You have brought delicacies much sought after by our people, and we are much pleased. What would you have in return?
Honored Elder, pray allow me to begin by thanking you for welcoming us into your home, and for accepting our humble offerings. My companions and I are come in search of knowledge, specifically knowledge of your people's god.
Knowledge alone? What strange hunters you are! But if it's words you desire, then words you shall have. We are the Vath, the non-mind, and to speak is our fate. You will hear the tale of the gnat's god, of the god the One Mind summoned into our midst.
The One Mind. These are the gnats who reside in the main colony.
Yes, they are one, connected. But let us begin the story at its beginning. Some moons ago, a single dragon flew in from the east, bleeding and weak. It fell from the sky and into the hive, where it was swarmed by my brethren. And with spear and spell and musket, the dragon was slain.
'Twas likely that I had fled battle with my kinsmen. I should commend you for finishing the job. Whatever.
Dragons are fierce and terrible adversaries. The One Mind would always cower when their winged shadows passed over the ground. But no longer. They had learned that a battle-weary Travanian was easy prey. Thus did the One Mind decide to heed the words of the black-robed men. The One Mind would call forth their god and unleash his blades upon the dragons. Travanian lands would become Nat lands, and ever larger would grow our domain. But our god ever hungers. The price he demands in crystals far exceeds the rewards for this war. We of the Vath despise and revile his insatiable existence.
Even a wounded dragon is a dangerous opponent. These ant-men did well to overpower one. The beast tribes have ever summoned their gods out of necessity, but the gnat would do so out of mere covetousness sets a worrying precedent. I call upon the power of a primal for the greater good, conscious all the while that I do so at great cost to land. I reason that it is a necessary evil, and willingly shoulder the burden of my sin. In suggesting that such crimes can be justified, you may argue that I presume too much. But you must surely see that I am aware of the magnitude of my transgressions. Not so the Nath. They summon their deity for no greater purpose than to expand their domain. To a scion of the Seventh Dawn, one sworn to eliminate the primal threat. The distinction you draw seems questionable at best. But the fact remains that my own grandfather risked unleashing the power of the 12 in an attempt to prevent the calamity. Thus, while I may not condone your actions, I at least understand them. Not so the Nath, as you so rightly put it. They truly seek naught but the territorial gain. I can only conclude that they are ignorant of the ruinous consequences of their god's insatiable appetite. The longer this primal is suffered to exist, the greater the suffering it will cause. It must be destroyed. How lightly propose the destruction of this god, Master Alphino, a being with whom we know not. Has it occurred to you that you may be sending the Warrior of Light to his death? No, I have the right of it, Asinian. To see it as I, who am guilty of presuming too much. Okay, forgive me, Falzon. It's nothing I'm not used to at this point. And I do not fear my duty. Wait, Falzon need not face this foe alone. Like him, I am blessed with the Echo's protection. I may do battle without fear of primal influence. Let me bear this burden. Ha! Do you truly imagine yourself a second Warrior of Light? Remind me, how many primals have you faced, my lady? Not that it matters, we know not where this god resides, or how to challenge it. Unless you mean to pray until it appears. Asinian makes a valid point. Let's speak with the Voth and learn how best to secure an audience with their deity. In this, at least, I may be of assistance. The young lord certainly appears eager to prove his worth.
We are that. We are the non-mind. We do not hear the one mind's thoughts. We cannot predict their will.
Oh, this is gonna be rough on my voice in the long run. But screw it.
Put this idea from your minds, generous hunters. If you meet with our god, then he will have your souls. Surely you are not so generous as that. You wish to meet our god? Offer yourself as sacrifice, and you will soon be brought before him. We would mourn the loss of such generous hunters, however.
Is it really that simple?
You are generous hunters, yes. Many gifts you have brought, but not enough for all that to enjoy. Maybe you could bring us just one more. We are very fond of Nanka flesh. Yes, made of a young Nanka would make a fine repast.
Alright, you glutton. For once, I am in agreement with the Dragoon. Speaking with these beastmen is an exercise in frustration. What has that to do with their primal or their faith, Master Alphino? Let us glean the information we require and be done with this place. Tell me that their tribe is not accustomed to giving such individual a name. Giving each individual a name. It seems they only grasped the concept after they began trading with the hunters.
We do enjoy our Nanka flesh. Have you been out hunting yet? Another gift for the farm. So unexpected. Yes. You'll have more of the words you strange hunters hunger for. Listen now. The senses of the One Mind are enmeshed by the Overmind. What one sees, all see. What one feels, all feel. Alert a single gnat, and the whole hive is alerted. To reach our god undetected is all but impossible.
The Vathal want to allude to certain concepts without explanation. I believe I am beginning to grasp a few of the fundamentals. From what I understand, the king-like Overmind sits at the center of Nath society, and its presence somehow allows its subjects to communicate without need of word or gesture. These Nath, the ones who inhabit the larger hive, are known as the One Mind. It was by their combined will that the Primal was summoned. Those who reside in the smaller hive, however, are the Vath, or the Non-Mind, who, for reasons that yet escape me, seem to be excluded from the telepathic bond which connects their Nath counterparts. Thus are the Vath ignorant of the One Mind's thoughts and intentions, and of the nature of their own god. In summary, we have wasted our time. Not so. Perilous though it may be, the Vath did varnish us with one certain method of approaching the Primal, as sacrifices. Should we allow ourselves to be captured in the environs of the colony, the Nath will bring us before their deity to make an offering of our souls. Forgive me, but let us be clear about what it is you propose. Do you mean to say that you would deliberately provoke the Nath, surrender yourself into what might generously be termed their custody, and then wait until their god arrives to claim your soul? Aye, that fairly well describes my plan. You will join me in this endeavor, will you not, Falzon? Judging by the great risks you took to prevent the summoning of Saint Shiva, you are not a man to err on the side of caution. Yeah, you got that right. Would that I could fight at your side, Warrior of Light, but the power of the dragon is no protection against primal influence. Forgive me, but I must remain here with Master Alphino. Then it is settled. Falzon, you and I shall challenge the gods at the entrance to the colony. Once the hive is roused, we shall feign a brief show of resistance, then allow them to take us prisoner. I would be curious to test my lance against a Beast Tribe's god, but I cannot risk falling under its sway. Tell me of the battle on your return, Warrior of Light. Seeing his words stung me more than I care to admit. It would seem I have begun to take your victories for granted. Do be cautious, my friend. You wouldn't be the first. Probably not the last. Then again, primals are... Then again, we seem to be having a bargain sale of primals these days. We've got Fire Primal, Ice Primal, Wind Primal, Giant Sky Whale Primal, and now Bug Primal. Like, seriously. It's like an infestation. Hey, buddy!
Intrude us! Your lives are forfeits!
No, just yours. The One Mind must now be aware of our intrusion. Let's press on into the hive and ensure that we have our host's undivided attention. Thaumaturge. Leave these drones to me. We can join forces again once we're deeper within the colony. I'll tell you what, I'm having it easy here because I'm so high level. Back when I first did this, I kept dying to these things. That should be sufficient. If we did not have our host's full attention before, we most surely have it now. Our audience with the Primal may be granted soon after our capture. Pray advise me once you have sealed your mind for the battle to come. Well, I hesitate to call it a fight, but okay. You are prepared then? Hold here, Bowsen. When the next nap come, we offer no resistance. Right then.
Surrender, intruders. There is no escape.
Alright. Enough! We surrender. We throw ourselves upon the mercy of your god. They seem eager to proceed. Good. When they take us before their lord, pray leave matters to me. When I know if summoning rituals holds true, I shall be well placed to act. Like the sound of the river rushing through the ravine behind us. Passing loud, is it not? I imagine the noise would serve to mask our escape should we need to withdraw temporarily. But you are prepared, are you not? I do hope so. If I were to be dragged away for sacrifice while you were haggling over the price of potions, I should not be amused.
Try to escape and we'll break your fleshy legs.
Okay. Though I dismiss Master Albino's concerns, I confess that I did wonder how the Nath might treat their prisoners. Happily, it would seem they are not wont to harm sacrifices, or even to disarm them. Plainly, they imagine their god invulnerable. The plan goes better than expected. You say that now.
Now we have but to wait.
All right.
O Lord Ravana, master of the sacred blades, wrath of the colony, conqueror of the world, hear our prayer. Pray grant unto your devoted children the gift of your divine presence.
Wait for it.
He comes.
Okay, that is pretty cool. Well, that's one way for a primal to make an entrance.
All strength to the colony. Speak and I shall listen.
Oh, glorious general, we have captured intruders and would make unto you an offering of their life's blood.
These feeble fleshlings dared to invade Natlands.
Hear me, Lord Ravana. My companion and I did not come to contest your children's territory. We wished only to learn the reason you wage war against the dragons.
Thou wouldst flirt with death merely to satisfy thy curiosity. Wherefore should the glorious conquests of the Nath concern thee so, Elezen? Mayhap thine own kind's struggle against the worms fareth poorly, and thou art desirous of a pact.
We crave no alliance, Lord Ravana. Only peace. We would bring an end to our war with the dragons. Yet so long as they remain embroiled in this conflict with your children, our goal shall remain out of reach. Never before have the Nath risen up in such numbers, and never yet with you at their head. Why do you lead them to war?
Thy question hath no meaning. To live is but to fight. Long have my children waited, gathering their strength in the shadow of thy ceaseless conflict. The Nath would see the Dravanians slain, and their territory secured. And by such fervent prayers am I now given form and purpose.
As I feared, your very existence is an obstacle to our goal. Since you are so fond of fighting, we challenge you, Lord of the Nath. And should we emerge the victors, I would have you swear to withdraw your soldiers from Dravanian soil.
Thou art bold indeed to risk thy fleshy hide so readily. Very well. I, Ravana, fourfold master of the blade, do accept thy challenge. But should I emerge the victor, I would have thee swear to serve in mine army till thy last breath is spent. Do you accept?
Alright, thanks.
I do. And I believe the first bout is mine.
What is this? A god clad in flesh?
Is aught amiss, my lord? Thou Thou wilt not break thy word, I trust.
Mine oath is unbending as steel, little goddess. Thy rules will but add to mine enjoyment.
I thought myself stronger. Mayhap with more crystals?
Be thou god or maid, thou art nothing to me. And what of thee, mortal? Art thou warrior or craven?
Alright then. My turn, bug boy.
A warrior then? Good! Mayhap thou will provide more sport than thy feeble companion.
Hey, Gazelle. Are you alright? Forgive me, I was overconfident. Don't worry about it.
The wrath of the colony is undefeated. Victory to the Nath.
So then, prepare to learn what humility is. Sadly, we won't get to see the truly epic back and forth, because I don't intend to go easy, unless I focus on auto attacks. Because, unfortunately, his fight is sick, but I'm also quite powerful and do not feel like waiting for a cue. Ravana.
Dust to the song of ringing steel.
Yeah, I think I'll just do auto attacks. I'll only take things seriously once it's Bismarck. Observe how simple it is.
Perish.
Oh boy.
Feel my blades.
Sure, get off your slaughter. I'll wait.
I am invincible.
Arguably.
Bleed. Wilt thou yield? Prepare thyself.
Whoop.
Rejoice in the glory of combat. Unyielding of the earth.
Oh, come on. What are you gonna do? And perish.
Thus does the sacred rite of combat proclaim the victor. I lay my blades at thy feet, child of man.
Bitch. Yes. Scurry and cower.
You do not disappoint, warrior of light. Would that I had your skill in battle. I do begin to see why so many place their faith in you. For all his savagery, I do not think Ravana one to break his word. Provided the dragons do not trespass upon Nath lands, they should have little to fear of the Primal's biting blades. We have done well, have we not? Come, let us return to Vidofnir and share these glad tidings.
That's about right. Entire place stinks anyway.
Once more you achieve the impossible, bringer of light. But with every mortal heart that succumbs to fear and fury, another voice is joined to the chorus, beseeching divine succor. At their bidding, warring gods will shake the firmament, and your world will be consumed in the swelling storm of chaos.
Never since we first fought have I seen you draw upon the full extent of your power. And never from afar till this day. You are marvel to behold, Valzin. I didn't use any of my abilities. Well, this time we rejoin our companions. I'll be eager to hear the tale, and to continue our journey. Stay away from that. The Ant-Man's god has fallen then. Impressive, warrior of light. We're back. Thousand! Lady Azael! Take the 12! Lord Ravana, you say? I'm curious that the Vath never mentioned his name. And you're quite certain he will keep his word? There was honor beneath his savagery. That we survived the encounter at all was a miracle. A miracle I must attribute to Valzin. Never did I doubt you, Warrior of Light. Unlike some, you were gone so long that Master Alphino here nigh lost his wits with worry. Fretting like a maid for her sweetheart he was. Gideon, was that truly necessary? No, not truly necessary, but certainly true. What matters is that the primal is vanished and our promise fulfilled. We should return to Vidofnir without delay. Indeed, though, it is still very sweet of you to worry about me like that. Lest you forget, this was but a means to secure an audience with the worm Bracefelger. Nidhogg's minions will not be halted by idle chatter. Come now, we must make every moment count. Oh, he's blushing. You are unkind, Destinian. For all his experience and intellect, Alphino is still but a boy. Yeah, but yes, which makes it more adorable when he's emotional. It's natural for him to feel concern for his companions. You should have seen the boy fretting. It was a sight to behold. Tease him no more. Master Alphino is to be applauded for his sense of responsibility. Given his years, 'tis little wonder the burden weighs heavy upon his shoulders. Shall we be on our way to Annex Shrine, then? I would not have the dragons think that we have forgotten our bargain. Will the dragon now honor her word? That remains to be seen. You should be the one to break the news. Victory was yours, after all. Vidofnir will be pleased to hear of Lord Ravana's defeat, and his pledge to recall his soldiers. Thou art returned, little one. Hast thou abandoned thy ill-conceived contest with the Nath? It's not ill-conceived if we win. Nay, my friend, we return in triumph. By Valzin's hand, the base man's god, Lord Ravana, laid low. In his overconfidence, the Primal swore to withdraw his followers from your lands in the event of his defeat. A promise we believe he will keep. The Nath shall trouble you no longer. The deity is slain, then? How didst thou contend with his biting blades? But the peculiars matter not. Thou hast fulfilled thy promise, and I shall fulfill mine. Attend me, mortals. Hie you onto the deepest reaches of Morn, and there you shall find Halo, the altar from which you may begin your ascent to the summit of Som Al. But be fairly warned, the minions of Nidhogg shall not lightly suffer your presence on that sacred mount. By your struggles within the cavern shall I judge your party possessed of sufficient fortitude to proceed. We shall not disappoint you, Vidofnir. If memory serves, the Cavern of Morn is entered from the second floor of the central tower. Let us begin the climb. Bippity, boppity boppy, boppity boppy, boppity beep. I was just checking to make sure that's my mic was still working. To see if it still is. Well done, little one. As promised, I shall open the way to Som'al's summit for thee and thy companions. Heed me now, children of man. The domain you seek to enter hath not seen visitors of your kind in 9 on 1,000 years. Though I freely grant you passage, your presence will not be welcomed. To my kin, this mountain is revered as holy ground and resting place both. Were you the minions of Nidhogg during your ascent, for 'tis certain they shall take great offense at your intrusion. We are grateful for your warnings, gentle Vidofnir. My final words are for thee, Dragoon. Have care to keep the stolen power thou wieldest in check, lest it breed further despair. Estinian? The way is open. Let us not tarry here. A moment. Shall we blindly forge on, knowing the dangers that await us? Tiamat herself is said to guard this peak. I do not fear Nidhogg's consort. Any dragon foolish enough to bar our path shall feel the sting of my lance. Spoken like a true butcher. Need I remind you that we come to parley at peace? Let us be clear, heretic. 'Twas to save Ishkan and her people that I first lent my support to this dreadful venture, and to this doubtful venture. It is for their sake that I go now to speak with Hraesvelgr. I said nothing of Tiamat. Should the opportunity present itself to rid my people of one of their deadliest enemies, I shall take it. That is my duty as Azure Dragoon. You are beyond redemption. We will accomplish nothing by bickering. If we are to meet with Hraesvelgr, our path leads up the mountain. We shall defend ourselves if attacked, but avoid conflict wherever possible. What other choice do we have? Right. So, Som'al, folks. We shall defend ourselves if attacked, but avoid conflict wherever possible. What other choice do we have? A dragon lost in anger is beyond control, as I learned to my sorrow when I unleashed the horde upon Ishgard. The weight of Dravanian rancor pressing down upon me. Oracle of Frost. Well, let's do it this way. That's right, Sheba wielded a sword and shield.
Away with you!
I have a feeling I've seen this plant slide before, but where? Drake Spur, beware its pollen. More Drake Spur. Focus on cutting down the plants. I'll provide support. One of the few instances I'll actually... like, this is easy enough. Like, I can actually speak the characters in this one.
Know your folly.
Away with you!
Know your folly. Know your folly.
Focus. Release!
Away with you!
The oldest way to cut down overgrown weeds. Nevertheless, I would see if your lance is suited to the task. Let me try that again. Nevertheless, I would see if your lance is suited to the task.
Know your folly.
I have my pride!
Ah, no, 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 no.
Away with you! Away with you!
We do not. I do not want the flower devour hour. We have a long way to go. And let's keep moving. Stop! We did not come here to battle. Forgive me, but we have to defend ourselves.
Away with you!
Must we always resort to violence? We must slay or be slain. Make your choice. skills are like unto armor, but their kind will not spare it from my lance.
I will end your struggles.
Away with you!
Come on. We're almost down. Ah, crap. Well, that's fine by me. I keep my distance anyway. It was a worthy adversary. I'm not here for you to enjoy sport, Dragoon. Ooh. Nighttime high in the sky.
Know your folly. Know your folly.
Please, I beg you, let us pass. Your words fall on deaf ears.
Know your folly.
Yaman, consort of Nedhog, we beseech you, grant us safe passage to the mountain summit. We mean you no harm. As I thought, blind to reason like all the rest, if we see our mission to its conclusion, you know it must be done. Such rage and rancor. Is there truly no other way? If you would flee, now is the time. And abandon our mission? Don't be absurd. You dare intrude upon this sacred mount? That's what Tiamat said. Ow. Arrogant insects, be crushed beneath the weight of my fury. Try it then, dragon bitch. Okay. Just dropping rocks on our heads here. Alright. I'm gonna take the shot. Fire Quill! Hedgehog, my beloved, avenge me. Done and dusted. Now, why did she refuse to listen? Why didn't I? Okay, what did you say, Simeon? We should go, Isaiah. The summit awaits. Ah, dang it. I didn't get the chance to read what Simeon said. Oh well. Onward and upward. Another crystal alights. Alright. 1,000? Oh, Yeah? What's up? Would seem Tielmon was the last, and since no other dragons nearby. What about that one? What is happening? Ugh. Nidhogg. He roars. He knows we are here from there? His fury. It bleeds through the eye. You gonna be alright, dude? Fear not. I am yet your master. But that damned worm's wrath burns hotter than flame. Come. The heart of the dragons is homeland. It lies before us. Alright. Thus do we add another link to the chain of vengeance. Saint Shiva, when will it end?
To the peak of Som Al, at the end of a perilous mountain path, whence could be seen a string of pearl-like islands floating impossibly atop a sea of clouds. To a domain where dragons and men had once lived in harmony, whose majesty no mortal eye had glimpsed for nigh on 1,000 years, they came.
The churning mists. Floating dandelion. Ah, I feel the worm's anger. Its lair's not far. Not far at all. You mean in eyesight? We stand within the sacred homeland of dragons, beneath the sky that is Heavensward's domain. Quest nears its end, Valzin. We have reached it at last, the peak of Som Al. It is said to be the highest mountain in all of Eorzea, you know? I thought it cold in Kurthus, but the air here carries the chill of a dozen winters. And while it is very early, I think that is where I'm gonna call the stream. And I know it's a bit sudden, but here we go. Thank you all for tuning in, those who decided to drop on by. I hope to continue this sort of thing next week, as we journey through the churning mists to mate with Heavensward. And if you want to see any updates for this sort of thing, you can follow me on Blue Sky, rippington.bluesky.social. Well, sometimes I give stream updates, sometimes I repost things, other times I am G-posing in my Warrior of Light. But for now and as always, until next time, folks, see you later!